Collard greens are a southern classic, but a lot of people don't know how to make them. If you want to learn how to cook collard greens, keep watching.
The first step is to wash each collard green leaf individually. I'm using 1.5 pounds of raw collard greens. Although it looks like a lot now, they shrink down a lot when cooked. So keep that in mind. You're probably going to want to prep more leaves than you think you'll need. Collard greens have a long, thin stem down the middle. If you don't want them to be hard, you have to cook them a little bit longer than the rest of the leaf. So take your knife and cut out the stem from each and every leaf individually. If you've never cooked collard greens before, be sure to set aside a good amount of time just for prepping the leaves. After all of the stems have been removed, take a few in your hand and cut them into 1/2 inch pieces. Once all the stems are cut, it's time to move on to the leaves. Stack 2 or 3 on top of each other, fold them together, and then roll them. And then cut them into 1/2 inch strips. Once again, make sure you set aside some time. If you're not cooking your collard greens that day, freeze the leaves and the stems in separate bags. Remember, the stems are really tough, so they need to cook a bit longer. However, if you freeze them all in the same bag, it will be impossible to remove the stems later. When you're ready to cook your greens, start by putting smoked meat, in this case I'm using smoked turkey wings, and garlic and onion in a large pot of water. My recommendation is 1 pound of smoked meat per pound of greens, so in this case I'm using 1.5 pounds of smoked turkey wings along with 1 small onion and 3 to 4 cloves of garlic. Make a stock by boiling the meat, garlic, and onions for 1 hour. Once it is cool enough to handle, remove the meat and use a spoon or a spatula to break up the onion and smash the garlic. At this point, the garlic and onion should be very soft. Also, use your hands to remove large chunks of meat from the bone. Don't worry about scraping the bone clean. Small bits will fall off as you continue cooking the meat. Return the meat and bones to the pot. Add the stems, but not the leaves. Turn the heat on high and boil for 1/2 hour. At this point, add your spices. My recommendation is 1 teaspoon per pound of raw greens. After the stems have cooked for 1/2 hour, add the leaves. Don't be afraid if it looks like they won't all fit. Mixing them down into the hot water will make them shrink faster and fit better in the pot. Stir occasionally and add extra water if needed. 1 hour after adding the leaves and boiling on high, the collard greens will be done. Cover and let stand for 10 minutes before serving. Although making collard greens is a long, tedious process, it's well worth the effort. Boiling them with the smoked meat and spices gives them a very unique flavor. It's unlike anything else. After serving yourself the leaves and meat, don't forget about the liquid at the bottom of the pot. Known as pot liquor, it's not only full of flavor, but also nutrients. If you make greens, be sure to check out my cast iron skillet cornbread recipe. It goes perfectly with this. Crumbling cornbread into collard greens not only absorbs the pot liquor, but also results in a flavor combination unlike anything else. If you've never made greens, please try my recipe. I used to be intimidated to make greens, but now it's like second nature. Making greens isn't hard, it's just time consuming. That's why now I cut and freeze the leaves on one day and make them on another. Doing everything in one day is way too much, especially for a holiday like Thanksgiving. You don't want to have to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning just to get the greens started. Trust me, I know from experience. Thanks for watching. please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Also, be sure to visit my website, parnellthechef.com, for a written version of this and other recipes. And be sure to follow me on social media. Thanks for watching. Bye!